ورسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول كل بدعة ضلالة.
I can't emphasize enough to you, my brothers and sisters, the importance of establishing the prayer among your families with respect to your wives, your children. If the wife, she finds that her husband is lazy with regard to the prayer, then she is to encourage him and advise him. Do not play with your salah. It is the first thing that you'll be questioned regarding. And as for those that you know from the Muslims, whether it be your family members or colleagues at work, and they have abandoned the prayer, then you must emphasize to them the great importance of the prayer. And that the Salaf and the Sahaba and the Prophet ﷺ clearly stated that the abandonment of the prayer, it is kufr. The Prophet ﷺ clearly stated that the difference between us and the mushrikeen and the kuffar is the salah. It is the haddul fasil. It is the dividing and distinguishing point that separates us from the unbelievers. A Muslim falls into sin. A Muslim falls short. A Muslim transgresses. And all of these weaken his iman. But if he abandons the prayer, he has no iman. Iman leaves him. He becomes an unbeliever like the rest of the unbelievers for the abandonment of the prayer. So don't treat it lightly. Don't send your children to school and they are of the age of praying, meaning that they have reached the age of bulugh, that he has become a man or she has become a woman because they fulfill the signs of puberty. So she is menstruating, for example, or he has coarse hair in the private areas, in the private parts, or that he has night emissions that show that he is a man, he is able to have children, and likewise with her. And if none of these are there, that these children of yours, they don't have coarse hair in their private parts, or that they don't have night emissions, meaning sexual discharge, or her menstruation has not started, then regardless of the age of 15, they are considered to be people upon whom the salah is obligated. So if you're sending your children to state schools and they are not praying, Wallahul Musta'an, that you regard the dunya and whatever you're trying to gather by sending your children to school, which is of course, in the right environment in an Islamic school, is something that is good for your children in an Islamic school. But if you are sending them to a state school and your children are missing the prayer day in and day out, and the only time they pray is in holidays, and every Jum'ah they are not praying because you regard their secular education more important than their questioning in the grave, and they're standing before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then there is a problem. And it is a huge deficiency in your parenting and your care of your children. A Muslim establishes the salah, and it is the first of the pillars after the shahada. Make sure that you and your children are praying. Anyone that you are a guardian over, that they are praying. The children are ordered to pray at the age of 7 by their parents. If your child has reached the age of 7, he must know how to make wudu, how to find the qibla in the house. He must know what to wear, or she must know what to wear. Either he must cover his aura, she must cover her aura, because these are from the shurut of the prayer. They must make sure that their garments do not have any impurities upon them. When they enter the prayer, they must know what prayer they're about to pray. So the niyyah must be there, and that they are praying for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Look at all these things that your children must know by the age of 7. Look at all of these things that your children must know. So what do? You put an iPad into their hands and let them fool around on it all day long. He doesn't even know how to make istinja at the age of 7. He doesn't know which way the qibla is in the house or how to pray. He doesn't know how to dress for the salah. He doesn't know the difference between dhuhr and taraweeh, because you never taught him. You say, oh, he's too young. Prophet ﷺ said, command them with the salah at the age of 7. So that's your responsibility. You don't beat them at the age of 7. You just command them. Abdullah, get up and pray. Abdurrahman, get up and pray. Amatullah, get up and pray. Aisha, get up and pray. You're 7 years old. So whose responsibility is it to teach them how to pray and what they're praying? That's your responsibility. How do they know what to wash of their limbs? How do they know how to make istinja if they're going to visit the bathroom before making wudu? That's your responsibility. And then parents cry when they're 16 and 17, my child doesn't pray, because you never taught them to pray anyway. It was always something in the background and unimportant. What is important is that you get up at 8 o'clock and you're at school by 9. That's what's important. Forget the prayer. They don't let me pray in school, don't worry. Pray dhuhr, asr and maghrib when you get home. Comes home, straight up to bed on his computer games. Is this why we raise children? Is this why you spend all of that wealth? Is this why you nurture them? Is this why the mother stays up at night when the child is sick? To raise them to be disobedient. Children who don't worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Take your responsibility seriously. By the time that they enter into manhood, what they refer to as adulthood in the West, in reality this is the point of puberty. Then the responsibility comes upon them. If there are people, you are the head of the household, and there are people are not praying in your house, you need to have a serious discussion with them. You're under my roof and you don't pray. You need to have some serious discussion with anyone in your house who doesn't get up for Fajr. This is the head of the household. It's his responsibility. If he doesn't want it, let the mother take it. Because some women, they have more strength and more quwwah and more rajula. That which is normally for men. Some women have more of that than even the husband in the house. So if you can't do the job, let her do it. How can you be living in a home and people are missing Fajr? But they will put the alarm on for 8 a.m. because they don't want to miss school or work. This is the salah. It is the distinguishing factor. Al-ahadu alladhi baynana wa baynahum as-salah. The covenant between us and them is the prayer between us Muslims. And those kuffar, it is the prayer. We make sajda. They don't make sajda to Allah. We make ruku to Allah. They don't make ruku to Allah. We glorify Allah in the sajda and in the ruku', and we make tashahhud when we're sitting. We recite Surah Al-Fatiha in the standing. Kuffar don't do that. That's the difference between us and them. وَمَنْ كَفَرَ فَقَدْ كَفَرَ. So the one who abandons the prayer, then he has disbelieved. He has disbelieved. And this was the position of the Sahaba radiallahu anhum, and the correct position of the fuqaha and the muhaddithin. The one who abandons the prayer is an unbeliever. Knowingly if they do it. So therefore it is your responsibility as the head of the household, you make sure no one in your house misses the prayer. That is more important than the rest of the things that you're focusing upon. Tawheed, salah. These are the two things that Mu'adh bin Jabal was commanded to begin with. Establish the Tawheed. If they accept that from you, then command them. And tell them that Allah has obligated upon them the 5 daily prayers in their day and night. If they accept that from you, then inform them that Allah has obligated upon them the zakah. Salah is important. Barakallahu feekum. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us from those who sincerely worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Wa sallallahu ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam.